Hello beautiful people, what is up? My name is Tara, I'm a portrait artist. Today I am going to show you how I did this sketch page. I've been keeping a sketchbook for a little while now. I've seen quite a few artists on YouTube sharing how sketchbooks can help them, why they keep them, and I've really started to implement that into my personal creative practice, and I'm actually seeing some really good results from it. Just to show you the kind of things I've been doing in my sketchbook, here's a few examples. I started a new sketchbook and I'm actually really enjoying this format, this sort of long, skinny format. I've found it's become a really good way for me to nut out all the things I need to work out before actually doing a really big final artwork that I might pour 40, 50, 60 hours into. So the sketchbook is the place where I tend to start all of my thinking. I play around with colors, I play around with composition, and although it's very rough and doesn't look as refined as what my final artworks would be, it's definitely the place that I start figuring out all of those things. So for me in particular, I really like to know what I'm doing with my skin tones before I go ahead with a portrait, because skin tones are really important to getting the whole portrait right. So I will often nut those out on the sketchbook page. And often I like to integrate lots of mixed media into my portraits, and so I'll often do a little test of that mixed media. In particular, that includes washi tape. So in this sketchbook page, I'm going to show you how I incorporated washi tape. There's just a little bit of it, but I have included it in lots of other sketchbook pages, like here and here. So yeah, I would love for you to come along on this journey. I'm having a lot of fun playing around with the sketchbook, and I find a lot of you want to talk to me about it. A lot of you reach out on Instagram and you find that you're a little bit anxious and you sort of feel like your sketchbook has to be perfect. And my advice to you is just start. Don't be afraid of that blank page, throw some color down, have fun. And you know what, if at the worst, you really don't like it, by all means, tear it out. Like, there's nothing to say we have to have these perfect sketchbooks. And I think what I'm seeing as a creative coach and art teacher is that a lot of people are just so bound by this perfectionism. And what I want you to understand with the sketchbook is that it is your personal, beautiful, private space that you don't have to show to anyone. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be rough as guts. It can be thick. It can be caked on. Whatever you want it to be, that sketchbook should be your home. And it also reminds me of, I think I was about 16. My mum could see I was going through a bit of a hard time, and she could obviously see that I needed this outlet. So I remember she did this bookbinding workshop, and she presented me with the most beautiful handmade sketchbook with this thick, gorgeous watercolor paper in it. And she said to me, "This is for you. I want you to make this your private place to put down your feelings, however you're feeling. This is your place to do it, and you don't have to show anyone." And that stuck with me for many years. And I actually did use that sketchbook as like a visual journal, and it became a place that I could work out a lot of things. So keeping a sketchbook is something that's near and dear to my heart. Without further ado, let's get on with it. This is actually a portrait that I will be doing coming up. I've already done a portrait of my husband, so this is actually a self-portrait from my wedding day, and I really want to do a bigger portrait of myself to match this really big portrait I've done of my husband, and they are going to be pride of place in our living room. But this is in the sketchbook page. This is where I figure it all out. So let's get into it. that was it. Thank you so much for watching that. I am having a blast making these videos. Like I said in my last video, I'm new to YouTube, but I'm really hoping that with sharing this stuff, we can create a really cool community here. And I can just share my day-to-day life of what it's like being a portrait artist, a mixed media artist, and just a working artist. So if you have any questions or you want to know anything, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I will try and get back to you. But if you want to reach me on my socials, feel free. All of those details are there below. And I look forward to sharing with you the final artwork that comes of this page. Okay, that is it from me today. I look forward to the next video. Like I said, I'm new to YouTube here, so if you can like, comment, subscribe, all of the things, hit that bell. Until the next video, bye.